Jane Longo.
Down, small business begins to feel the pinch, and so will you if it lasts. We'll take a closer look. And finding your inner hitman. Touchy-feely liberalism or a prison program that works.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening, everyone. President Bush and the House of Representatives have agreed today on what authority the president should have if he chooses to attack Iraq. We'll go to Washington in just a minute, but we are going to begin with a huge storm on its way to the Gulf Coast. Hurricane Lily, which is currently over the Gulf of Mexico, is headed for Louisiana and Texas. Hundreds of thousands of people have been told to get out of the way. ABC's Mike Von Fremd is in Lake Charles on the Louisiana coast tonight. And Mike, I was saying to you just a moment ago, it looks awfully calm behind you.
Yes, Peter, but don't be misled by that calm behind me. What is churning in the Gulf of Mexico is forecast to be the most powerful storm to hit the United States in a decade, and it's coming right at us.
The mayor has ordered an evacuation, a total evacuation.
From Texas to Mississippi, more than 250,000 people have been told to evacuate. Most are taking the order seriously. Highways here are bumper to bumper as residents flock inland.
That's it. Nothing else will fit.
Helicopters have been ferrying oil workers off nearly 100 rigs in the Gulf. Shrimp boats and barges are headed for safer waters upriver. Residents are trying to protect their houses any way they can, some waiting hours just to pick up sandbags. In New Orleans, people still cleaning up from Tropical Storm Isidore last week are now bracing themselves for the much more powerful Lily.
Got lucky last time. Just don't think you can get lucky twice.
72-year-old Harold Magmum and his wife Sylvia left Lake Charles this morning because Lily reminds them of a deadly storm that devastated their home 45 years ago.
Well, I went through Audrey, and I know what it was. And I think it's the wise thing to do.
Audrey killed 526 people, most of them in Louisiana. Lily, like Audrey, is a Category 4 hurricane. That means it has winds approaching 155 miles per hour and can cause extensive damage to homes, cut off escape routes 5 hours before the storm arrives, and flood property more than 8 miles inland.
This will indeed, if it hits a populated area, cause extensive damage from the wind and the storm surge.
Now, Peter, this storm has people truly frightened here because it is so powerful, and it's now heading directly toward the Louisiana coast.
Many thanks, Mike. Mike Von Fremd on the Gulf Coast tonight. As you heard there, it's not the wind or the rain that causes the most deaths in a hurricane. It is a phenomenon called a storm surge. It is the greatest fear of those who are in the path of Hurricane Lily. ABC's Ned Potter explains what we mean.
This is the worst of it. Forecasters say historically up to 90% of all deaths have been caused by the storm surge, the wall of water racing ahead of the hurricane. It can raise the ocean's height dramatically, 10 to 15 feet and perhaps more in Lily's case.
The storm surge is extremely dangerous and is very capable of causing a large loss of life.
The storm surge is essentially a giant bulge of water pushed toward land by the winds swirling around the hurricane. As it comes onto the shore, it can grow tremendously, flooding the coastline for miles around. Take a look at this map of Hurricane George from 1998. The reddish patch you see forming is the storm surge, coming on shore well ahead of the storm itself. That would be trouble anywhere, but especially in the wetlands of Louisiana, where nothing is more than a few feet above sea level.
You're not only getting the mound of water moving across this lowland area, but you're getting waves which are just pounding against any obstacles in the vegetation, which can do a tremendous amount of damage also.
Fortunately, though, forecasts have improved with the years. So while the dollar damage from hurricanes has gone up steadily, the death toll has not. Ned Potter, ABC News, New York.
Now let's go to the president and the war against Iraq, or the possible war against Iraq. In Washington today, the president and the House of Representatives have come to an agreement about the president's authority if he decides to attack. Terry Moran is at the White House today. A good day for the White House, many people think, Terry, though he didn't get everything he wanted.
He did not, although White House officials say today is much better
than recent days. Today's agreement was the product of 2 weeks of negotiations with leaders of the House of Representatives. In the Rose Garden, flanked by Republicans and Democrats who support the new resolution, the president linked congressional action to U.S. diplomatic efforts.
The statement of support from the Congress will show to friend and enemy alike the resolve of the United States.
The revised resolution would authorize the president to use military force, but only if he certifies in writing to Congress that all diplomatic or other peaceful means have been exhausted and that attacking Iraq will not undermine the war on terrorism. And the new resolution specifically limits the use of force to Iraq, which the White House originally resisted.
In Baghdad, the regime will know that full compliance with all UN security demands is the only choice. And the time remaining for that choice is limited.
Mr. Bush also committed the United States to deep, long-term, and expensive involvement in any post-Saddam Iraq.
We will work with other nations to help the Iraqi people form a just government in a unified country. And should force be required, the United States will help rebuild a liberated Iraq.
White House officials say it was Richard Gephardt, the House's leading Democrat, who was key to today's agreement. His support, Peter, and that of key Senate Democrats like Senator Joe Lieberman put a lot of pressure on the Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle.
Okay, thanks, Terry. Of course, the Senate is going to begin debating this tomorrow, which takes us to Capitol Hill. ABC's Linda Douglas is up there. So what's the Senate going to do? Is this debate over?
Well, this deal, Peter, has really thrown the democratically controlled Senate into turmoil. There was a push for a resolution that would have given a greater role to the allies, but now the sponsors of that are having second thoughts. They may not even offer it. They don't want to be seen, they say, as nitpicking. That leaves only the liberals. They are arguing against unilateral force against Iraq. They will argue passionately over the next several days, but they are in a shrinking minority.
Thank you very much, Linda Douglas on Capitol Hill. Any question of war with Iraq brings up the question of Iraqi oil. And there will be more on that later this evening on Nightline. Now, the government has finally had what it considers a very good day in the Enron case. In Houston today, the former chief financial officer of what was a huge energy company was charged with enough fraud and money laundering that if he's convicted, it will get him many years in jail. Andrew Fastow says that whatever he did at Enron, his superiors knew all about it. ABC's Betsy Stark is here this evening. A big score for the government if it goes forward.
Right, and those who lost everything after Enron collapsed, Peter, have been waiting just for a day like this, a day when an executive who made off with millions would face the law. Today, after interviewing hundreds of witnesses and reviewing thousands of pages of documents, prosecutors said they have the evidence that Andrew Fastow knowingly defrauded Enron workers and shareholders while enriching himself, his family, and his friends.
This dramatic day began in Houston, with Andrew Fastow surrendering in handcuffs to the FBI.
We lodged significant charges that carry with it the possibility of going to jail for 140 years.
Prosecutors charged the 40-year-old Fastow with securities fraud, money laundering, mail-in wire fraud, bank fraud, and conspiracy. A 38-page complaint detailed how the man once hailed as Enron's whiz kid schemed with people inside and outside the company to hide debt, inflate revenues, and kick back money to himself and others using sham partnerships.
Fastow and his co-conspirators systematically and thoroughly corrupted the business of one of the largest corporations in the world.
Fastow's lawyer said today his client's transactions were praised and approved by Enron's chairman and CEO.
Andy Fastow always was dedicated to the long-term success of Enron. At no time did he do anything that he believed was a crime.
But legal analysts say the weight of the evidence makes that very hard to believe.
The charges today are an enormous breakthrough for the government because it moves the playing field from the arcane principles of accounting into the familiar territory of outright thievery and concealment.
An indictment of Fastow will come sometime in the next 30 days. In the meantime, the wealth of evidence laid out in today's criminal complaint will only ratchet up the pressure on Fastow to help the government build a case against Enron's CEO, Jeff Skilling, and the chairman, Ken Lay, which the government clearly wants to do, Peter.
Many thanks, Betsy Stark. In the national briefing tonight, Douglas Faneuil, who was assistant to Martha Stewart's stockbroker, has cut a deal with prosecutors. He admits that he lied to investigators looking into allegations of insider trading against her. If he testifies against Ms. Stewart, which is uncertain, it could be damaging to her. In Boston today, Richard Reed has offered to plead guilty. He's the man accused of trying to blow up an American Airlines flight last year with explosives in his shoe. No deal has been struck with prosecutors there, but if the judge in the case accepts the plea, the government would likely lose the chance to debrief Mr. Reed and learn what, if anything, he knows about Al-Qaeda. When we come back this evening, a group of children accused of beating a man to death. One of them, the children, is 10. The toys and the food that may never get to their destinations in time. We'll take a closer look tonight at the consequences of the West Coast labor dispute in the ports. And at the end of the broadcast this evening, yoga, drama therapy. Can they reform hardened criminals? At least one prison thinks so.
Before I got to this program, I was out there robbing your sons, selling them drugs, and putting them in hospitals.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by Burlington.
Mind if I sit down? Oh, are you looking at my outfit? I know, isn't it great? You know what else I got? Look at this. I have 2 words for you. Bargain. What does this say to you? Fun, flirty, sexy? You know what it said to me? Buy me! To die for?
If you haven't heard, the Burlington Coat Factory has famous label women's wear for less than department store sale prices.
What do you think?
Chances are you will.
You're speechless?
Burlington Coat Factory. It's more than great coats.
Oh, I think I got shopper's elbow. Can you hear that click?
Turning raw metal into pure gold isn't easy, unless it's Chevy Truck Month with $500 bonus cash. Use bonus cash with 0% APR on any new 2003 Chevy truck in stock. Or add $500 bonus cash to increase cash back on 2003 Silverado, Avalanche, and Trailblazer. It's a new gold rush on dependable, long-lasting Chevy trucks. Stake your claim. $500 bonus cash ends October 31st at your local Chevy dealer.
30 shrimp for your 30th birthday.
I'm 29. Mix and match 30 shrimp for $9.99. Now at Red Lobster.
Just because a toothbrush is electric doesn't mean it works like a Sonicare. It has patented Sonic technology. Whiter, healthier teeth in 28 days. Guaranteed. Ask your dental professional about Sonicare.
I am very proud of my lawn.
We enjoy it as much as he does.
Our neighbors usually ask me what I use, and I tell them. I use Scott's Winterizer.
He really cares.
You apply it in the fall, the food actually enters the root system. It stores it over the winter, and then in the spring, it perks that grass right up. It explodes, basically. Obviously, it's a critical step.
He's tried other products, too.
They just didn't work out. Scott's Winterizer gives me the last green lawn in the fall and the first green lawn in the spring.
The greatest outdoor show ever is back. The New American Sportsman, hosted by Rick Schroeder, Mondays on ESPN2.
In Milwaukee tonight, the police are looking for more suspects in the savage beating of a local man on Sunday. The man died at the hands of a mob. Some mob. 10 children have already been arrested. The youngest is 10. Here's ABC's Dean Reynolds.
West Brown Street runs through a Milwaukee neighborhood known as Johnson's Park, but many people here call it Little Beirut.
Every day, every night you come out here, you're seeing something different happening out here.
It was here on Sunday night that a crowd of at least 20 kids beat a man to death. 36-year-old Charlie Young had punched one of them after they threw an egg at him. The crowd, ranging in age from 10 to 18, chased him down a small street, caught him on this porch, and battered him into a coma. Police say the individuals involved were armed with baseball bats, tree limbs, shovels, broom handles, a folding chair, and a rake. Barbara Mapp lives 3 houses away.
I'm looking out my window, and I'm seeing them come through the lane, and I knew they were up to no good.
At least 12 people have been arrested so far, and under Wisconsin law, every one of them, including the 10-year-old suspect, can be charged as an adult with murder.
These little kids terrorize you like that. They do. I don't know where the parents are.
Loitering is chronic here. Do people complain about it?
Yeah.
Does anything happen?
Ain't nobody gonna do nothing around here.
Rosa Cameron is a Milwaukee alderman.
Yes, we have to beg the neighborhood to please take back their neighborhood from these young kids.
And I think that they really should take a look at what happened to my brother and take notes and really think about how precious life is.
And after what happened here this past weekend, virtually everyone is reflecting on that point.
I feel sorry for that man, too.
Everyone. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Milwaukee.
Just one item from overseas this evening. In the southern Philippines, a bomb exploded near a base used by U.S. Special Forces at Zamboanga. 3 people were killed, including a U.S. soldier. 25 others were injured. U.S. troops have been helping the Filipino military in its campaign against the Abu Sayyaf group. That's the group which executed an American missionary earlier this year. When we come back, the billion-dollar consequences of the West Coast labor dispute. We'll take a closer look.
Turning raw metal into pure gold isn't easy, unless it's Chevy Truck Month with $500 bonus cash. Use bonus cash with 0% APR on any new 2003 Chevy truck in stock. Or add $500 bonus cash to increase cash back on 2003 Silverado, Avalanche, and Trailblazer. It's a new gold rush on dependable, long-lasting Chevy trucks. Stake your claim. 500 bonus cash ends October 31st at your local Chevy dealer.
If you have diabetes, you've probably handled thousands of test strips. But no more, thanks to the Accu-Check compact meter. Just drop in a drum containing 17 test strips. Press the button and you're ready. 17 consecutive tests and no handling strips. What could be clearer? The Accu-Check compact meter. Look for the one with the drum.
Next time you're on the road and you need to fill your tank, here's something to consider. New Shell gasoline is specially formulated to help prevent deposit buildup in your engine, which helps keep it clean. And a clean engine performs better, which is why when they're looking for more from their gasoline, so many drivers choose Shell.
The new Brita Smart Pitcher not only gives you clear, refreshing water, it's the only pitcher with a digital indicator, so you'll always know when to change the filter, and your water will always be refreshing. How smart is that? The Brita Smart Pitcher. Refreshingly smart.
Some mornings I was so constipated I could hardly finish my route till I tried new X-Lax Ultra. The power of X-Lax in a tiny little pill with guaranteed relief by 8 a.m. Good morning.
New X-Lax Ultra with the X-Lax Good Morning Guarantee. Imagine combining the stain-fighting power of Efferdent and freshening power of Listerine. You'd get Efferdent Plus. It's extra fresh, and nothing gets your dentures cleaner. Efferdent Clean, Listerine Fresh. That's Efferdent Plus.
Tomorrow, we went up to see the new ways pilots are trained to keep you safe. Now, see for yourself how they regain control of a plane about to crash on World News Tonight.
We're going to take a closer look tonight at the ripple effects from the labor dispute which has shut down ports along the West Coast. It has been 4 days now, and the two sides aren't even talking. American companies and producers of agriculture, which depend on shipments to Asia for revenue, are beginning to get nervous, and so are firms that rely on goods coming from Asia. So ABC's Brian Rooney tonight on the massive disruption in the country's supply lines.
Waiting on ships off the West Coast are shoes, auto parts, Christmas toys, and fruit destined for wholesalers.
Well, we've only got about a week's supply of bananas on hand. So if the lockout continues, for more than a week. We'll see a scarcity here pretty shortly.
Small businesses that have no warehouse are first to feel the pinch. In Eugene, an importer of goods from Africa.
There must be about 50 orders that we're holding for items that are in these containers that are being held up.
Some economists say estimates of $1 billion a day in losses may be conservative.
After a while, factories all over the country begin to run out of spare parts. And then they stop the lines. And then the next day, maybe twice as many factories stop the lines.
This joint GM-Toyota plant in California is shutting down its truck line tonight for lack of parts that usually are delivered just before they're needed.
So we really don't have a lot of inventory laying around.
It's not just imports. Exports also are cut off. Loaded trains are sitting in rail yards. Apple growers worry that their shipments for Asia will rot. The wheat growers say they could lose hard-won customers all over the Pacific.
There's a lot of nervousness. I mean, there's a lot of concern that, you know, if this thing goes on for a long time, it's going to have a devastating impact on the wheat industry.
Many of the national chain stores get half their goods from Asia. The Gap, Ann Taylor, Williams-Sonoma. But the most dependent on shipping is the entire state of Hawaii, which gets nearly everything it uses by ship from the West Coast.
Oh, I'm concerned. I'm wanting to be prepared, and I'm stocking up on, non-perishable items.
The effect of the port lockout has been described as a snowball rolling downhill. It's growing larger every day. Brian Mooney, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Anxiety in business has a price tag, too. Air freight operators are reporting there's already been a small increase in cargo going from the Far East to the U.S. Over the past few days, it's certainly a more expensive way to ship. When we come back this evening, the man convicted of domestic abuse. Is acupuncture the answer?
So who's this Lisa who called?
Just a girl.
I saw them holding hands.
So you like her?
She's okay.
She smokes cigarettes.
She smokes?
She tried it once with her friends.
So what do you think about that?
I think it's a bad idea. We talked about that, remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Anyway.
Hey, Lisa, you guys want a cigarette?
She doesn't do that anymore. She's cool.
Then how come she likes you?
Talk to your kids about not smoking. They'll listen.
Did you know that the powerful heating medicine in Bengay increases blood flow at the site of application to help ease your aches and pains? Did you also know that Bengay's been scientifically proven to increase range of motion, decrease muscle and arthritis pain, and improve flexibility? And Ultra Strength Bengay has 3 powerful pain-relieving medicines, more than any other leading brand, and that adds up to fast, powerful pain relief. Ultra Strength Bengay, the power you want, the relief you need.
Daddy?
Hey,
Why are you eating my Cheerios?
they help lower Daddy's cholesterol. They're good for Daddy's heart.
Whole grain oat Cheerios is the only leading cold cereal clinically proven to help lower cholesterol in a low-fat diet.
Cholesterol thing.
In the 90 years LL Bean has sold outdoor clothing and gear, competitors have come and gone. Many have tried, but none have matched our dedication to quality and service. As others fold or merge, LL Bean remains family-owned and true to doing things right. Today, our commitment to quality products, service, and our guarantee assures you'll always be 100% satisfied. You have our word on it. Call today for our free catalog.
Out here, the sun doesn't just set, it simmers. The trees are taller than buildings, and dreams are just a short step from reality. This is California, the Golden State. And the memories are here just waiting for you to find them. There are over 4 million miles of roads in Alamo Country, and with values like this, they're easy to explore. Alamo, the official rental car of the American vacation.
And he told me I sent him to a better place.
An FBI agent says Christian Longo confessed to killing his family and went on to explain why. I'm Steve Dunn, also on K2 News at 6:30. If the West Coast port lockout isn't entirely about wages, what's behind the costly face-off? And a dead bird is evidence. West Nile virus in Washington State. Next.
Causes a heart attack. There's a secret hidden inside you. Now, doctors are solving the mystery with new ways to find and treat a deadly killer on Good Morning America tomorrow.
Finally this evening, new age behind bars. There are almost 2 million Americans locked away in prisons and jails. Many of them have been in prison before. Many more will be behind bars again. We've reported on the system before, where the wardens behave like drill sergeants or the men are in chain gangs. Tonight, well, you'd have to call it a very different approach. Here's ABC's Dan Harris.
Even the people who run RSVP, which stands for Resolve to Stop the Violence Project, admit parts of it look like Club Med. Acupuncture. Take a breath. Yoga.
And reach out and down.
Drama therapy. The RSVP program will undoubtedly strike some people as coddling of criminals, as touchy-feely liberalism. But there are early indications that this program may actually work. The inmates range from domestic abusers to armed robbers. A new study from Harvard University says inmates who stay in the program for more than 4 months are 80% less likely to be rearrested for a violent crime during their first year of release.
Before I got to this program, I was out there robbing your sons, selling them drugs, and putting them in hospitals.
The yoga and drama are simply supposed to calm the inmates down so they can focus on their issues in group therapy sessions called Man Alive.
She's hanging outside the car, and I got her by a hair.
The inmates discuss, dissect, and diagram what they've done so they can stop it from happening again. Each inmate must identify his inner hitman, the part of his personality that makes him violent.
My hitman's name is arrogant, egotistical, emotional roller coaster.
Self-centered, aggressive, thuggish boss.
Normally, men don't have a vocabulary for emotions. We have angry and we have happy, and that's about it. But in Man Alive, we have hurt, we have sad, we have afraid, and afraid is definitely not something that men are allowed to be.
It's very difficult to share this story.
The men are also encouraged to understand the impact their violence has by listening to victims.
I wrestled a long time with what could possibly make someone want to hurt someone.
Sheriff Michael Hennessy says simply locking people up doesn't work.
Every prisoner in my jail has one thing in common. They all get out, and they all come back to our community. Now, should we do something about that?
If it works, he says, he doesn't care how it looks. Dan Harris, ABC News, San Francisco.
That's our report on World News Tonight. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again tomorrow. I'm Peter Jennings. Good night.
These two doctors know how to have a good time.
Did you bring snacks?
But when a patient's life is at stake, they are at their best.
I'm gonna get you out of here.
Treat yourself to the super docs the critics call dashing. MD's ABC Tonight, 10/9 Central.
Now on K2 News at 6:30, an FBI agent says Christian Longo admitted killing his wife and 3 children. Plus, the West Nile virus arrives in the Northwest. K2 News at 6:30 starts now.
Live at 6:30, K2 News, the spirit of the Northwest.
Good evening, and first on 2 at 6:30, an FBI agent testifies Christian Longo confessed to killing his wife and 3 young children.
The agent says Longo said he killed his family last December for religious reasons. As K2's Bob High reports, Longo's admissions surfaced during pretrial hearings over whether any of those statements can be heard during his murder trial.
Christian Longo showed no emotions. His murdered wife's relatives wept as an FBI agent described Longo's murder confession during a plane ride back from Mexico.
He told me I sent him to a better place. He openly spoke about why he killed his wife and 3 small children, but that he didn't provide any details beyond that.
A Lincoln County Sheriff's detective testified Longo said he killed his family because they've been shunned by the Jehovah's Witnesses Church.
meaning that his parents specifically, and the church had shunned him. Longo stated that his family, wife and children,